And we are back. And if you're joining us right now, we are just getting our second conversation started for this morning. And we are going to be speaking all about the Labor Department's Electronic Temporary Employment Program, permit, sorry. And here to discuss that with us, we have Alda Reyes, who is the chairman of the Temporary Employment Permit Committee, as well as Claire Lamb, who is a senior labor officer with the Labor Department. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us about this morning. Perhaps we can just start perhaps with Aida to tell us all about what the temporary employment permit is. Just tell us all about it.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Marlene and your team, we thank you for inviting us, the Labor Department, to share to the public our new electronic temporary employment permit system. This morning, Ms. Lam and I will be explaining the new electronic temporary employment system, and is well known as work permit. Ms. Lam will give the brief introduction on the temporary employment permit from M. The floor is yours, Ms. Lam.
Sure, thank you. Good morning, guys. Temporary employment permits are issued to foreign workers to work within Belize for a specific period of time, which could be for a fixed term, probably for a project, seasonal workers, like we have the agricultural workers. And a Belizean employer can apply for a foreign worker, or a foreign employer can apply for a foreign worker also. And also a self-employed person, a foreigner, could also apply for a work permit as a self-employed individual. When these individuals apply for this temporary employment permit, they would need to supply us with various documents, requirements, during the application process. For example, they would supply us with, if it's a self-employed individual, they would supply us with a business plan to show us how this business will operate in Belize, if it will provide employment for Belizeans, the type of produce or items that will be produced or services that will be offered by that business. You would also need to produce the qualification. Let's say it's an employer bringing in a director or CEO to manage his company. They would need to provide us with copies of their qualifications. Those would have to be verified. And then the business also have to provide us with tax information. And going back to a self-employed, if you're going to operate a business in Belize, you will need to provide us with your bank statement for at least 6 months, but a local bank statement here, and certificate of registration, and the list goes on with the other documentations that they must provide for this process.
Let's backtrack a bit though. Who is eligible to apply for the temporary employment permit?
Any foreign worker.
Any foreigner. There are no exceptions to the list, no?
No.
Okay. Now, from your experience, who seems to access them the most?
The statistics that we have with the permits that were issued, its majority is from the agricultural sectors, the farm workers, farm hands.
Yeah. And they come from what area?
Central America. Central American countries.
And given that the employment is temporary, can you also can you describe what that means basically? Because you mentioned a little bit earlier, and even in the context of agricultural workers, you were talking about seasonal workers or people who may be coming for a fixed period of time. Can you tell us what exactly, or what types of labor this is exactly aimed at? Is this different from somebody who wants to perhaps come and live and permanently settle in Belize?
Yes, because the permit is only for a period of time. The maximum time is 1 year that the permit is valid for. However, individuals can apply for a renewal But when we look at the agricultural sector, they come for the season for probably for harvesting or what we call reaping of the fruits, and actually the period for planting.
Now, you mentioned, I think, a part of your screening process, and I'm sure you imagine that people who are watching right now are saying, well, if we have so much unemployment, why are we allowing other workers to come in? What's the screening to ensure that the people who are coming in to access temporary employment are actually necessary?
Okay. One of our requirements is that that job has to be advertised in the local newspaper for approximately 3 weeks. And you will need to bring in the clippings and also your interview information so that we could go through that document. Also, we have a public employment unit within the department. So we would also refer you to that unit before this process is completed.
Okay.
Because we have job seekers that registered with us for various employment.
Local job seekers?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I didn't know you had a placement agency.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So basically, if I have a farm of whatever, and I want to bring in workers to work, before I can get access, before they can get access to this permit, I would have had to advertise locally for Belizean people to apply for the job.
Correct.
And I have to prove to you that I did put that announcement out.
Yes. And as you can see, I think recently I saw on Facebook where a couple of these farms were placing their vacancies also on Facebook for Belizeans.
Okay. And what's the cost of the permit?
At the Labor Department, we only deal with two fees, which is the $20 for the postage stamp, the stamp duty, and the $25 for the administration fee. The actual permit, you pay for that at the Immigration Department, and they have a list of costs for the various profession. Each profession is different. The cost is different, sorry, for each profession.
Okay.
But that is with the Immigration Department, not Labor Department.
Okay.
Because if I could step back a little, Labor Department does the interview for the temporary employment permit. We have a committee that reviews the application, and that committee is the one that decides whether the application is approved or not approved. Once the application is approved, that is communicated to Immigration Department, because under the Immigration Act, Section 16, it is the Immigration Department that would issue the work permit based on a voucher from the Minister of Labor. So we would communicate that information to Immigration Department, and Immigration is also a member on our committee. And it's Immigration Department who will then produce that permit that is placed in the individual's passport, and also a hard copy that they can take around with them, and they also charge a fee for that permit.
Okay.
And what do the numbers actually look like in terms of how many people you see applying for these types of permits each year, especially because we know that, even in the agricultural sector in particular, but otherwise we know that, persons living and working illegally has been an issue. So how many people are actually taking advantage and applying for these types of permits?
That total figure I don't have with me, but what I have with me at the moment is the ones that were approved. Like last year, we had about 3,000 plus that were approved.
Okay.
But majority of that, I think about 67% of that, if I'm not wrong, was from the agricultural sector.
Yeah.
What other types of, what other sectors are we seeing?
We have professionals, which will be our directors, owners, CEOs. We have our technical workers, which is from the medical field. We have the doctors, nurses, IT professionals, and then we have our general workers.
All right. Now, this process to make it an online application, is this born out of the pandemic reality or something that was in process a while before?
It was in process before, but the pandemic made it a reality for us.
Yeah. Now, how do you ensure that you're still doing all the necessary checks into the applications if it's going to be online?
Okay. When the documentations, after the person creates his or her account and submits an application, they also have to submit all the documentations that were required before electronically, and then a labor officer vet those applications, do their query before setting an interview with the employer, as an interview is also conducted online with the employer. So through the labor officer vetting and collecting the additional data and speaking with the employer and the worker during the interview, that is how we would maintain still the process that we had to check the validity of these applications.
Yeah, yeah. And when you just recently officially launched the online application, what's, usually there's some growing pains when you move things online. How's it been going?
The application process online will start on the 14th. So
Okay.
we still have a couple more days. The website was launched, but workers and employers will start using it on the 14th of this month.
Okay. So, Claire, tell us a bit about what this will do in terms of making the process not just safe, but also streamlining the work of the department.
Okay. With this process, it will benefit us and also the employee. If I could start first with the applicant, with this process, every step of the way, they will be able to get notification from the department via email about the status of their application. And for the department itself, we can see the submission of the application, who submitted the application, who vetted the application, the interview notes, and then also we are able to go through the committee's information for the review of that document, that application, and then the production of the approval or not approval letters. However, in addition, it also provides us with useful labor market information, because data is something that is not readily available when it comes to the migrant population. So now with this system, that statistics will be available. It will also tell us the sectors that employment is available. And we could also use that information at the schools, where training programs could be offered to individuals to prepare themselves for these openings.
Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. Ida, talk to us about the work of the committee and how you differentiate yourself. Ida?
Hello, yes.
Yes.
The committee is comprised of 4 representatives from the government officials and from the Ministry of Education, Human Development, Immigration, and the chair lady from the Labor Department. The process is that we will receive the application, we will review and approve. And we have to see that all the requirements are met so that we could approve the work permits.
Yeah.
And that is the process. It will take like 2 weeks to do all the necessary process, and the employers will receive a letter from us. But now with this new system, that will be, everything will be automatic. Like they will email the letters, they will be getting everything, they will upload their documents. So it will be more easier for the Labor Department and the applicants to apply online.
And Ada, perhaps you can tell us a bit more about what the experience was like in transitioning to the online platform. And perhaps you can also describe a bit of what your experience was like sort of working through the pandemic, and any sort of challenges that the Labor Department or the committee faced throughout the months of 2020, especially while the borders were closed.
Yes, with this pandemic, of course, everybody was scared, right? Because it's deadly. What we do with this, we saw that it is we need to implement something in place so that we could do this in application. And like every year, we process approximately about 5,500. But with this pandemic, it reduced because we were trying to see that we will not be receiving face-to-face any applications or interviews. We will not be doing again. So what we did, we started to think about this new system, and sincerely that we will be working on that. That it will be more easier for us, and we will be also be the lengthy process will not be again. With this new system, the process of the work permit will improve and no more delays.
It'll be
so
faster.
that will be the new system.
And just a question, in the committee's review, what's the approval rate? How often do you actually deny permits?
It will all depends on if they have all the requirements. Because if you don't have the requirements in for example, like Ms. Lam mentioned, that we need advertisement from the employers that they have that in post available, and if there is Belizeans available, we will look onto that. First, we give priority to Belizeans workers. So if there is no Belizeans available, then we will approve the work permits. And basically, it will be minor numbers that we will be saying not approved.
Okay. All right. And so what's your advice to the public about how to adjust to the new online format?
I will ask the public to have patience because, we are trying to upgrade our system. And I know that sometimes we'll say, oh, this thing don't work, but yes, it will work. This new TP system is easy to navigate and easy to understand. So I will tell the public that if they have any question, concern, contact our labor department. We are here to serve the public, and we are here available to give information. So to me, it will work, and I believe, and our ministry also, we have that hope that we will this new TP system will work.
Okay. And Claire, tell us the website. And it doesn't actually, you can't actually apply online until the 14th, right?
Yes, the 14th will be all the TP's application will be conducted online.
What's the estimated wait time for when somebody fills out the information and submits?
It will take like less than 20 minutes. Whenever you log in, you upload all your information, and you will. And the good thing of this system is that employers could schedule their interviews at their convenient time. So it's not like before that you have to wait until they will vet your work permit, or then you will get 4 days or anything. But this system, employers will be able to enter to do their own schedule their own interview.
All right. Any other advice to people that either one of you want to share?
And Marlene, with this system also, we have our counter partners that we work together with the Immigration Department and Social Security. So this system will automatically generate reports to share with these partners, Immigration and Social Security. So this system will work. Believe me that it will work. It will be more easy for apply and get a result. And the system automatically will say, once you submit all your application, all the requirements, the system will send you a notification saying we have received your work permit application, and you'll be getting your letter of approval or denied.
And it's also linked, I'd imagine, to you spoke of it being linked to the Social Security system, but also to the immigration system?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies, thank you for telling us about this new process. And the transition is prepared. I mean, you guys are rolling out on the 14th. People can go online and apply for the temporary employment permit or a work permit. That's what people call it. And thank you for telling us all about it. All right, seems we've lost them there. So Claire, Ida, thank you for joining us, and do stay safe. All the best.
And with that, of course, we are going to be taking another break. And when we come back, we are going to be speaking all about scholarship and scholarship opportunities. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back after a short break.